Thursday. It was the 14th eruption episode since they started back on December 23rd of last year, and the highest the fountains have reached yet. These eruptions were getting up to 700 feet high. Just because eruptions have ended for now, that doesn't mean neighboring islands won't feel the effects. Let's bring in our island weather chief meteorologist, Pete Caggiano. Pete, should we expect any fog to reach nearby islands soon?
Well, it looks like tomorrow our fog model...
Gregory.
How's it? Hang loose. Welcome to Mongoose Max Hawaii, the channel. Aloha everybody. It's the 23rd of March 23rd, Sunday. So I'll do a little old and new, and let's get this going on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Little vlog, little news, I guess. Man, it's a spring. I don't know if it is. It's spring cleaning. It's just spring, and every spring sprung. It's kind of calming down a little bit. There's still stuff. I don't know. I get this general feeling of. And yesterday I go out for a little hike. I don't know, a hike. It's a little walk, tiny walk in the park, just to kind of keep going. And it was hot. And after the hotness, I felt it. It was not heat stroke, but definitely overexposure. So it kind of made me feel weird afterwards. I had another energy, and then it was like. Okay, so careful, hydrate, all that. It's good stuff. In the news, geez, there's so many different stuff. They're just worried about that Board of Education falling apart. There's still the thing in Ukraine. There's, I guess they gave up on Panama. The word Panama? Never heard about that lately. It's all about money. You can tell it's about money. Even the Board of Education one, they're like, oh, it handles all those Pell grants and things into the schools, federal funding.
Fast.
And the student loans. Oh, student loans was a big Biden thing. Forgiveness of student loan. Anything that's Biden, they gotta make it different. You have to reverse it. So that's like the plan. They didn't have any other plan, and sort of that Project 2025 is just getting into the government, dismantling it so it's small government, so they can not have any barriers to do whatever they choose, which is enriching themselves. They're making money, making the government into a business to make money for themselves. Boom, as autocratic leaders. They're almost there. Don't worry. I'm just thinking that this will kind of run its course, and there's two possible outcomes. Either the total destructive totalitarian USA's over with, or something, it will catch up, give them enough rope, and it'll catch up and it'll be flushed out of the system, and then eventually so just hang in there, nothing we can do except watch it, and there's probably going to be riots, it's probably going to get worse like that, so, but happy outlook, happy rainbow outlook, and geez, I don't even know where to go with that. The astronauts are back, it's old. So anyhow, let's not make this long. It's a little old and new. Let's see what old and new have. I make sure I have my thing. Let's do this right.
Monsieur Padre, Venus Spiritus Sancti. Venus Sancti Spiritus, Venus Sancti Spiritus, Venus Sancti Spiritus.
And I'm not kidding. This is,
Very much.
Even reading out of this, it's supposed to dispel. Better than firecrackers. Word of God. So, old, random. And I found the light. This one, anyway. Second Chronicles, chapter 11. Death of Rehoboam. So King Rehoboam established himself in Jerusalem and reigned. Rehoboam was 41 years old when he began to reign. He reigned for 17 years in Jerusalem. The city of the Lord had chosen out all of the tribes of Israel to put his name there. His mother's name was Naamah,
Not necessary.
the Ammonite. And he did evil, for he does not set his heart to seek the Lord. Well, thank you, God. Okay. Now, new, but gotta have a rubric. Gotta have. Oh, looks like there's plenty here. Oh, right. Why is why? Wait, you know. Okay, hold it in one hand here. Not a rubric here. This is Matthew 10. No, that's 10. Yeah, 10. 34. Not peace, but a sword. Do not think that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I have not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to set a man against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and one foes will be members of one's own household.
Slowly.
For whoever loves the father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and whoever loves the son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me, and whoever does not take up the cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Those who find their life will lose it, and those who lose their life for my sake will find it. Okay, let's put that down. No commentary, but I know that's one of those confusing ones that usually has lots of explanation to it. Well, I don't have the paper with me. I mean, I think things will eventually calm down. There's a lot of people on that government stuff. We're just like watching it in the news with like, what? And in the news, they try to spin. I mean, there's a lot of ones on this side, the MAGA side, Republicans that will come onto the talk shows and spin the Republican thing is, it's good what they're doing, it's good because they're trying to kiss up to
Undoubtedly.
the Trump and that tight group. They're getting the DOJ to go after their enemies, so they don't want to be on the hit list of their enemies, destroyed somehow by DOJ. False accusation, even though it's going to cost lots of money and lawyer fees, even if they're innocent. They don't want to they want to be on the good side because
We're here.
in whatever a year and a half or so, there's going to be the midterm elections. That's where they were trying to kiss up because this midterm election thing, because they want to be in office with all the money. But by then, who knows what's going on? I mean, you got space program, you got China, you got Taiwan, you got Russia. Oh God, how's Ukraine going to come out of the picture? The EU is backing Ukraine, back off Russia, and US is being on Russia's side. China's going, yeah, and then there's Iran, and it's all crazy. It could be World War stuff because they're just, and then Panama, Greenland, all this kind of thing. In Canada's like going, hey man, and then Mexico, all these places, and the U.S. is just willy-nilly going in there. Okay, so not to paint a bad picture, let's go to the Hawaii news. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, this stuff. The volcano erupted big time. See, even Pele's like, wah! Hawaii news. Pandemic wounds linger in our community. Deep wounds 5 years later. A lot of people are like whacked out because of that lockdown isolation, but this is referring to long-term COVID. Because, okay, this lady got COVID and then she survived it because a lot of people didn't survive that thing. They tell me about vaccines. A lot of people didn't survive that plague. It killed them. It's respiratory. It's mentally debilitating effects of her long COVID diagnosis. So she got it, she lived through it, but there's some long-term effects, and it's affecting her life. And that's what stuff is. And I got it, but it didn't last that long. I was vaxxed out, so it didn't linger. But eventually, I caught that sucker. It felt like a big cold, like a cold, a very snotty cold. A lot of runny nose kind of thing.
I'm not from here.
But not like a flu, because I was vaxxed up to the max. Drivers are told to copyrighting woodwork, Korean tourism. Hegseth is coming to Oahu. Yikes. Well, we have a lot of military. Participants in RIMPAC. That's what it's going to be. Gee, Elon, what do I do? Tell me how I should handle China with all your business.
It's impossible.
The largest Tesla plants in China. Okay, it's impossible? That's what's happening. And there's basketball, see? Houston holds on. Basketball is not being a very distracting. Bell.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head.
Back in the day. Remember back in the day, 1956? Just go out there and look at the lagoon. This is Mauna Lua Gardens, not as celebrated as other attractions, but provide an atmosphere of peace and quiet. Vast green Mauna Lua Gardens, a gigantic monkey pod tree. Distinction being the largest tree on the islands. This is the largest monkey pod tree. This is 1956. Okay, it wasn't even a state of a territory. Can we maybe? I'll go with Dane's travel. Pass or fail? Fail or pass? Yeah, I don't have to go to school. Okay, I won't go to school. I don't have to do anything. Mostly they just don't do their homeworks because parents are on their butts. Political cartoon.
First, I'm going after law enforcement, and then politicians who investigated me, and prosecutors who tried to try me, and the judges who ruled against me, and the journalists who criticized me.
And he's walking hand in hand with inflation and recession. Yep, that's what we got. Ugly. Thank you. Thank you for confirming. That's what we do here. Here. We're gonna stay on the theme. I have never been one to push the idea of an American exceptionalism. I've always thought it sounded a little arrogant. However, I have never doubted the extraordinary leadership, intellect, creativity, and innovative strengths of the United States. As the US prospered, so too could the world. Unfortunately, America is once again beginning to withdraw as a positive global leader, turning away from global commitments, turning its back on allies, and shifting towards a more self-interested stance. Just as the world faces challenges that demand major global cooperation, in the short term, our longtime allies have little choice but to work with us under whatever conditions. However, I have no doubt they are reevaluating these relationships. Over time, they will recognize their reliance on the US is not in their best interest and begin to pull away. A new world order is clearly in the making. Carl Sabantino. Excuse me? Carl Sabantino. Kapahulu. Thank you, Carl. There we go. Yeah, I see how you got recognizing that finally, huh? Gotta see in that, huh? Yeah. There's globalism, which is now turning into the big bad monster with the MAGA criticism. She's a globalist. Like, oh my gosh. Like a cannibal. She's a globalist. But global cooperation is where it's at. The world is overpopulated as is, with 8 billion going to 9 billion, and it has to have a global cooperation. All the things like climate change, which the climate is, look at the hurricanes and
why are you asking?
It's there. You can't deny it out of existence. Thank you. You can't deny that out of existence and stuff like that. And those things like NATO in cooperation kept Russia, China, kept them at bay. Now that's why Russia doesn't want Ukraine part of the NATO. It's like makes NATO stronger, and Russia wants to be bigger, like Soviet bigger it was, and it's not making it. So that cooperation kept all that, World War III at bay, and now and U.S. they criticized it for being the world police, but it had the economic resources to make NATO strong, and they make NATO happen. But now all that stuff is not making America incorporated. It's a USA LLC. It's not making it money. So we're not spending money on climate change, and so we can have regulations. We're not going to spend money on helping others defend themselves. We're not going to spend money on this. Not going to spend money on that. Going to cut all that stuff off and be America first. It's going to be America by itself. Okay, not a first. It's going to be America all alone. And that's not a good position to be, because that's not how the world works.
Unquestionably.
So, I don't know. They got this playbook out of the 30s, and they got this playbook out of the 50s, and I don't know, something's. Anyhow, I don't think that stuff's sustainable for them. It's going to start falling apart. But it's probably going to get worse before it falls apart. But the federal judges are back. I don't know. Cross your fingers. It is Sunday. God willing. God bless America. Aloha. Have a great day. Aloha.